Citizen Schools is a nationwide nonprofit that started almost 20 years ago. The organization partners with local middle schools in low-income communities to bring real-world and experiential learning directly into the classroom. Citizen Schools first came to Google Mountain View about 7 or 8 years ago. There were some Googlers that were friends with some Citizen Schools staff members and just thought it was this really great program that fit right in with Google's culture. So they got some scrappy funding to make it an even richer and more interesting real-world experience for the students.
The reason they've been a great partner to Google for the last 7 years is because of their innovative model for education that helps pair ordinary professionals like me who work in HR, or our software engineers, our sales staff, to help really share their love and their passion for a subject with kids. The science behind cooking,
comic book design, presentation skills,
how to start a business,
write their own web pages,
basic financial literacy,
mock trial,
or it could be how to develop mobile apps or Lego robotics.
Designing your own Google bike.
We were actually able to help them build their own G-bikes.
And what it does is really inspires kids, but it also, employees come back more excited about their jobs here at Google and the future of education.
Googlers are really passionate people, and Citizen Schools lets you teach your passion.
It wasn't just teaching from a textbook, it was saying, hey, what's something you want to go make and I'll help you make that.
When I started the program, I didn't really know what I would teach because I didn't think of myself as a specialist. But what I realized throughout the program is you don't really need to be a specialist to do this well. It's really about exposing your passion and your ideas, everything you've learned over your time at Google, to kids to really get them excited about the same things that you are and see a path for their career.
So what makes Citizen Schools a really manageable thing to get involved in for any Googler, regardless of your level of teaching experience, is Citizen Schools' fantastic staff and infrastructure that helps support you every step of the way.
So it was a very safe and structured environment from Citizen Schools. You know, they gave us some guidance. There was always a facilitator in the class with us to help with the students and to also help us with the lesson plans.
You work with a Citizen Schools staff partner who's with you in the classroom to deal with things like behavior management and rowdy middle schoolers, all the behind the scenes stuff like photocopying and binders and the best education practices, so you can focus on what's important, which is bringing your passion to the kids.
I highly recommend coaching with a team. I worked with individuals that I knew but didn't work with every day, and so it was a wonderful opportunity to build those relationships, get to know them better.
There were people I might otherwise not have gotten a chance to get to know.
It was a very diverse mixture of employees, and yet we all got to sit in a room together, meet each other, some for the first time, and come together and develop a strategy and a teaching method that really brought us all together and made us all a lot closer.
I think it was a great experience to kind of sit and say, you know, how do we divide up our skill sets? How do we grow? How do we work with different people in different ways? And kind of leverage each other's unique abilities.
We were really able to play to our own talents, which I thought was really beneficial. You know, so you know, if you're better at working with individuals, you can play to that. If you like speaking in front of a class and kind of leading things, there's also the opportunity to do that as well.
It splits up the time amongst us, and it still feels like we're getting a lot productively done for Google during those 2 hours a week.
Depending on what you're teaching, there may be some prep time involved in that, but it's one of those things that, like anything, if you prepare, it makes things go much more smoothly.
That time commitment was nothing compared to the impact that we had in those kids.
Really just seeing the impact that the class is having on the students makes it a drop in the bucket.
And it left me leaving the apprenticeship every week feeling rejuvenated, excited to get back to my desk, and ready to dive back into my work. At Google, we often talk about our magic moments while working here.
I think the magic moment for me of this whole program was watching the development of one specific student. The whole program, she was having the hardest time. Very shy, kept forgetting her lines, wasn't quite comfortable speaking in front of her fellow classmates. And on the last day, 3 of the attorneys, we sat down with her, we kind of ran through her lines with her over and over again, boosted up her confidence as best we could. And then the trial date came, she got in front of a live judge, a live jury of people she didn't know, and she absolutely killed it, just nailed it, 100%. And I remember watching her walk down from the chair where she'd given her testimony, beams and smiles, and her mom's in the crowd going like, woohoo, trial's not even over yet. And I just remember seeing how happy she was, and it just made me feel so good to see how far she'd come.
In particular, I remember there was one kid who we were walking outside after maybe halfway through the curriculum, and he said, oh wow, you guys get to do this all day? And that's when I was like, wow, okay, I'm proud to be a Googler, you know, this is awesome. This kid knows that what he's learning right now is something that he could do in the future if he wants to.
The Citizen Schools program culminates in this really great event called a WOW, which provides an opportunity for the students that you've been teaching for the last 10 weeks to teach back what they've learned in front of an audience of their parents, their friends, and the community.
Not just mothers and fathers come out, but also little brothers and little sisters and big sisters.
It really made it worth it, the time that we had spent with them.
You really got a sense of how proud they were, even if they don't always act like it, you know, the 10 weeks when you're learning.
They were so excited. Their parents were so excited to see the work that they've done. I felt proud.
To see the students poised and proud of all of the work that they'd done over the course of the last semester was incredibly rewarding.
So you start out with these kids that are kind of awkward and uncomfortable and don't know anything about statistics or robotics, and then fast forward 10 weeks, and they can actually be really articulate and show that they've actually learned a ton of real-world skills, which is a fantastic thing for you to be able to see the progress that's been made and that your passion is having an impact.
Sign up today, impact tomorrow.